Peace be with you. Dear friends, welcome to Living Flame Podcast website and Facebook group. Gospel reflection for Monday of the second week of Advent. Gospel according to Luke chapter 5 verses 17 to 26. Now here is the miraculous healing of the paralyzed man who was brought by 4 people and placed before Jesus. Actually, Jesus was teaching. The teachings of Jesus were disrupted by a thrashing noise, we can imagine, and then mud and straw falling into the crowd. As they look up, through the hole, some friends began to lower a man down. I really do wonder if the homeowner had any comment. Most probably he said, "What are you doing in my house?" Not concerned about public security and embarrassment, not concerned with the effort it took or the inconvenience. This fellowship of the mat only cared about one thing: getting their hurting friend to Jesus for healing. That's real commitment. When Jesus saw their faith, not just the paralyzed man, but his friends, he healed him. Well, dear friends, getting people to Jesus almost involves a kind of commitment, and it almost always involves more than one friend. We know what St. Paul said: some plant, some water, but God gives the increase. And does it really matter who plants and who waters as long as the seed grows and there is a harvest? The laborers willing to do this are few, according to Jesus. Why? Because it takes a commitment. It takes a while for the harvest. We would rather make speeches than be farmers. Paralyzed people can't walk. This man was not able to walk. Jesus always deals with the most important issue here, looking at the paralyzed man. He says, "Friend, your sins are forgiven." Jesus calls him friend because Jesus was always a friend of sinners. He was so comfortable with them. That's why on one occasion Jesus said, "The Son of Man came to call back the sinners and not the righteous." Well, the Pharisees grumbled and said, "Who does he think he is? Only God can forgive sins." And then Jesus does something really cool. He asks a question: which is easier to say, "Your sins are forgiven," or ask the paralyzed man to get up and walk? One is easier to say than the other, because you can't see forgiveness of sins, but you can see for sure if the paralyzed man gets up and walks. So Jesus concludes, "So you know the Son of Man has authority to forgive sins." And you can see it visibly. The paralyzed man goes home praising God. Dear friends, during this Advent season, we have this beautiful episode from the life of Jesus that we need to bring people back to Christ. And how can we do that? We must think that those people who are unwilling to come to Jesus are those people who are paralyzed, and they must be carried on a stretcher. That means we must carry them, bring them to Jesus. So that is one of the ways we can evangelize people, we can inspire people. That is also Advent. Advent means bringing people to Christ, bringing people to the crib, bringing people to see Jesus so that Jesus can heal them. Jesus can say to them, "You are healed." Therefore, dear friends, when we look at this gospel passage and meditate on it, Let us ask the Lord to fill us, first of all, with the courage and strength to be committed Christians. Secondly, let us look for those people who are really morally paralyzed or psychologically, perhaps, in a difficult situation. Let us try to bring them back to Christ. This is the only way we can spread the light of Christ. We can make Christ be born in their hearts. God bless you.